Still the Nation, what's going on, man? It's your man Cav Easy here, man. It's the morning after, and I got a special guest. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
What's up, guys and girls? I'm known as TheDreadMan all through across social media, www.youtube.com/TheDreadMan. I'm a lifelong Steelers fan, and I also do game reviews, sports reviews, movies, hip hop, you name it. Anyway, what's good, my homie?
Man, ain't nothing good right now, man. Ain't nothing good right now, man. The Pittsburgh Steelers lost. It's kind of embarrassing, man. It was a bad loss, man. It wasn't a complete blowout, but it was a bad loss, man. Steelers lost to the Packers 27-17. Where do we start?
Now, before I got on this podcast with you, I told myself I would not be angry. I told myself I would not react emotionally. I told myself that I'll be as calm as possible. Unfortunately, all that BS goes out the window now because we know what the hell just went on yesterday. That was embarrassing. There's no excuse for that. You would go, okay, now I will go ahead and say this. Weeks 1 through 4 in the NFL, it's a glorified preseason because that's when teams are starting to warm up. They're starting to, get their legs under them and they're starting to get their identity. Weeks 5 on is when you get to see who teams really are. For me, the Pittsburgh Steelers, this game was it. This is the game where you show what you're really made of. People are already saying that you don't have it anymore. People are already saying that coming into the season, you're going to have one of the worst records because if you looked at our schedule, off the strength of all the other competition, the Steelers have the toughest schedule in the league as of right now. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, you have to play up to the competition. The thing is, the Steelers have a certain standard that we got to uphold to, and we're not playing like it. That's where the frustration is coming from. And the thing is, I don't know, guys, because I spoke about this on my TikTok. I was like, we might need to have 1 or 2 different conversations here. The first conversation is maybe we might need to consider a certain military assault vehicle tanking. But then, I mean, the thing is, and I'm on this Steelers forum, they ate me alive for even suggesting that we tank. But then again, I understand where they're coming from because the Steelers, we're not used to losing. We're used to winning. We're used to having an over 500 record. And also, we need to entertain the idea of maybe benching Ben, which, I mean, you got Mason. And I mean, the thing is, I love the kid to death, but he's just not that guy. I just don't think it's him. But I mean, something has got to give because, like I said, the schedule does not get any easier from here. It's only going to get tougher, and teams are only going to get better. And if this is the way we're going to play, then we might as well tank. But anyway, go on.
So I feel your frustration a lot. I thought about it, and I'm just like, I think yesterday showed me that our problems is, yeah, we have problems all over the team. But yesterday, I actually seen a good offensive line. Not when I say good, I'm talking about C-, like good. Yeah, it was just good. I seen that. I seen receivers, open receivers. I seen that. Defense gets no blame for me, like at all. Because at the end of the day, a defense of our caliber. And it's the reason why I feel like we're not rushing the passer as much as we did last year. It's because these guys they're on the field almost like 30 minutes a game, 40 minutes a game. Blitzing all game, asking for us to lose by 50, So I'm not really on the defense, but all the problems we had yesterday, I felt like it was good enough. If we had good enough quarterback play, we would have either won the game or at least made it a nail biter to the last second. I seen 2 quarterbacks over 37, and one of them looked like they were 30 years old and the other one looked like he was 49. Right. I don't have to say who was who. Y'all should know that. But let's go into some of the stats. The Big Ben, 26 of 40. Another game where he threw over 40 times. 232 yards. Now, if a guy throws 40 times, you're thinking 300, maybe 400 yards. No, 232 yards. 1 touchdown, 1 pick. He was sacked twice. But if you let people talk about our offensive line, you would think he got sacked 10 times yesterday. running backs. I'm gonna just get all these stats out for the offense. Najee, wasn't a bad game for Najee. I felt his pain towards the end of the game. It looked like he was crying in the fourth quarter. Najee, 15 carries, 62 yards, a touchdown, 4.1 yards a carry. That's all I ask for Najee this year. If he can get us 4 yards a carry, I'm fine, yo, based off of what we have in front of us. Receivers, Deontay, 9 for 92, touchdown, which was Ben's 400th touchdown. I will give Ben, a shout out for that. Legendary stat, you feel me? I think it was only 8 players that hit 400. He's one of them now. Now we got that out the way. A couple other receivers. James Washington, I felt like with the opportunities he had, he made the most of it. 17 yards a catch, 4 catches, 69 yards, no touchdowns. But I think that man needs way more opportunities than what he get. Najee, of course, Najee was targeted seven times for 6 catches for 29 yards. Basically our MVP. I'm gonna just go out and say it right now. He has to be our MVP based off of what he has to do. Juju could have had probably 150 yards yesterday, but ended up with 2 catches and 11 yards. That's just the offense, man. Based off what I said, those stats, man. Where can you really point the finger at if you had to point a finger? Like based off the offensive productivity and all that, like where do you place the blame for the offensive woes in this game?
I place it all the majority of it. I mean, of course, Ben deserves his fair share, but the play calling in this game was absolutely horrendous. We are one-dimensional as hell on offense. Short little 5-yard slant pass here and there. Short little 5-yard slant pass. Maybe a running play. Then Najee, he doesn't have any room because he gets jammed up at the line. So the thing is, Ben hasn't thrown the thing is, when he threw that touchdown pass to Deontay Johnson, which was over 25 yards, everybody was celebrating like the Steelers have won the Super Bowl because he hasn't thrown a 25-yard. Well, he hasn't connected a 25-plus yard pass since, I believe, last season. But yes, the play calling on the offensive side of the ball, I mean, it's people like, a lot of teams are going to be looking at that and they're going to be able to see right through it. It's like, oh, well, Big Ben's not going to throw over 15 yards. So all we got to do is get in man coverage. We don't even really got to bother getting his own defense. And the defenses already know that with the way that the offensive line is, they're going to be able to get to Big Ben. The thing is, if Big Ben is holding that ball for longer than 3 seconds, he's getting sacked. We know that. But yes, something's got to give with the play call. And you're right about Najee Harris. Najee Harris should be our MVP. And the thing is, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing when your running back has more receiving yards than most of your wide receivers. Can somebody tell me that? Like I said, it's a good thing. I mean, like I said, it looks good on the stats, but it's bad because a lot of teams, defense coordinators, they're going to be watching that. They're going to be able to sniff that out from a mile away. And there were 3 drop touchdown passes, 2 from Juju that were clear, and one, I believe, was, Benny Snell had dropped one of them. Well, even if it wasn't a touchdown pass, he was going to get 50 yards easy. And I was at the beginning of the season, or before the season started, I was campaigning for Benny Snell to get more reps. I don't know if it was that. I don't know if he was the fact that he dropped it, or it's just that Ben overthrew him. Like from Juju, Ben overthrew him. From Benny Snell, I believe that was a dropped pass. And the thing is, in moments like that, you can't do that. And one thing that we have not been good at doing from recently is playing from behind. Like the thing is, I would rather for us to have a sizable lead and let the other team hang around than for us to be down by 10 plus points and then for us to have to play catch up. Because we only win I think they said only 20% of our games, if we're down at the half, by more than 10. So for every one game we win, we lose 5. So yeah, we can't. The thing is, the Steelers have not been good at playing from behind recently. And
we haven't been good, period. You know what I mean? We haven't been good, period. Oh man. Now, I missed the whole Deontay touchdown. I was asleep. Took a little nap, woke up. It was 4:35, and all of a sudden, 2 drives happened. I said, oh, okay, all right. 9 minutes left in the first quarter. We already had 2 drives. All right. So I missed that. But what I was able to see for the rest of the game was it's a total disconnect. It's a total disconnect. And I don't know how much I can blame Matt Canada because what I see on the field is not his offense.
Right.
I see last year's offense, and I see, like, one thing that sticks in my head is when I hear people say that Ben doesn't like being under the center. I've been hearing this for about 3, 4, maybe 5 years now. He don't like being under the center. He doesn't. And I'm like, okay, in a Matt Canada offense, it was a lot of under the center. There was some things that I'm not seeing. And I'm like, okay, Ben, unfortunately, as great as Ben's been for the Pittsburgh Steelers organization, that comes with a little curse because he has basically the keys to the organization. So we can bring in as many coordinators we want. It's a reason why we keep seeing the same stuff every year. It's crazy how we can go through 3 coordinators and the offense is almost the same. That can't be Mike Tomlin. Well, some of it got to be Mike Tomlin. You got to start paying attention to the offense, bro. I know you're a defensive coach, but you're a head coach. Offense should matter. Don't rely on your coaches. I heard Mike Tomlin say before, like probably last year, 2 years ago, it's like, yo, I let my coaches coach. Well, you're the head coach. You need to start looking at what they're doing and make sure that Ben don't run these dudes over. Like, I think Matt Canada is getting bullied right now because we're not running the offense that he had, like that the offense that he comes from. That's not the offense we're running. We're running a Ben happy offense, and Ben is not even playing good in the offense that he wants. So I'm like, bro, like, I'm like this with Ben, right? Say Ben has been great enough where I'll let him finish this season out. If we don't win the game again, so be it. You wanted to come back, you got to eat this. We gonna eat it, but the difference between us and Big Ben, we're gonna be fans and we're gonna be around until we're done. Big Ben, he's gonna be done this year. We're not bringing him back. We're not bringing him back. If we bring him back, we're gonna have to start talking about Lil Rooney. We're gonna have to start talking about him. But that's a deeper convo. But with this, I want to get back to this game. So we can kind of agree that Najee was the MVP of the offense.
And we were missing Chase Claypool yesterday, but man, we were missing him. He would have took some of the pressure off of the other receivers because he's one of our more dynamic receivers, and he'd get a lot more catches and more receiving yards if he wasn't getting double teamed. All defensive coordinators and guys in the secondary, they know to double team him because they know everybody's like, well, he can't get separate. Like a lot of Steelers fans are like, well, he can't get separation. It doesn't matter. He's 6'5", 235 pounds with a 70+ inch wingspan. He can go up and get a ball. He can catch a ball. So separation is not really a thing. It's just that he's getting double teamed. And if you're getting double teamed, guess what? You open up the that's opening up the lane for receivers, other receivers to get more catches. Like I said, we've got Juju, we got Deontay Johnson, we got James Washington, and like I said, even Najee Harris can double as a slot receiver. Hell, you can even utilize Pat Frymouth, and he actually scored one of those. Exactly. The thing is, he's being underutilized, but I believe the thing is, Eric Ebron, he can't block, so I don't really consider Eric Ebron a tight end. I consider him more of a short/slot receiver. Frymouth can block and he can catch. So those are weapons that definitely need to be utilized a lot more. Now, let's get to the interesting part. Let's get to our defense. Now, like you said, our defense, everybody's like, well, our secondary isn't what it used to be. I mean, come on. Like, the thing is, you're holding it up to the standard of 10 to 15 years ago. Of course it's not. The thing is, our defense right now is as good as it possibly can be. But you're right, as far as our defense, there's 60 minutes in a football game, and our defense is on the field for 45 of that.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys are tired. Those guys are exhausted. And a lot of it does have to do with the offensive side of the ball. Because when you do bam, a short 3 and out, bam, short 3 and out, bam, short 3 and out, our defensive guys are on the field more than the offense. And that's not good. So that offense has got to milk that clock. The thing is, whether you get yards, whether you get a touchdown or field goal out of it or not, you've got to milk that clock so that way you can get, the defensive side of the ball can get some rest. If that doesn't happen, then yes, they're going to get picked apart, especially by better teams.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, man. And that's what it, and quarterbacks like Aaron Rodgers, who like, oh, we're back. We got how many opportunities? Why are you giving a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers so many opportunities? In the beginning, the first half, this is the last time I paid attention to it, but the time of possession was pretty close. It was us. We actually had the ball. And when I saw the graphic, it was 10 minutes to 12 minutes. So it was pretty close. I never went back and checked it out. I can kind of check it out, but the second half definitely didn't seem that way. It seemed like 1, 2, oh man, punt. 1, oh, we got a first down. Najee carrying 17 people. His teammates and the other team, you know what I'm saying? Like, he carrying that many people just to get 2-3 more yards. So that was like the only reason why we was able to extend certain drives. Deontay, he's getting force fed, rightfully so, because when he get the ball in his hands, he can make some crazy things happen. But with the amount of talent we have out there, you should be able to spread that thing around. We shouldn't have, like, Deontay's receptions shouldn't be that much more than anyone else. They should all kind of be even. Deontay, Juju, Chase, James Washington will get like he'll have a smaller amount. Najee will be in the mix with James Washington, maybe a little over him. Pat Fairmouth, Ebron, same with Najee and James Washington. But it should be all around the board. The fact that we're forcing things to Deontay when we have so many weapons, it's like, yo, Ben, what are you doing? And back in the day, like in 2010, around that time, Ben was actually better when he had more weapons. He was able to give it. He was able to give the ball to 9 guys and be efficient, 300 yards, whatnot. But this is the most talent he ever had on the team, on our offensive side of the team. Like, offensive line, no. But as far as the skill players, yeah, so much talent. And it's like, yo, he don't even know what to do. He don't know what to do. He have, you would think he had brain farts in the middle of the play. Because I literally saw Pat Freiermuth open, wide open, and he chose to throw it to somewhere else. And I'm like, yo, I looked at you, look in that direction. What are you doing? You know, so it's like, I don't know. It's either Ben is scared because he know he can't move and he know he need to get that ball out of there. I don't know, man. But then again, to go back to the Matt Canada thing, the fourth downs, I believe it was 2 times on 4th down. We chose to throw it east and west. And it's not like it was 4th and forever or something like that. It was 4th and short. When you have Najee, who's been proven to you for the last 4 games that he can carry 12 men if need be. You know what I mean? Like, he can carry people. He can get that. Like, so it's I don't know, bro. I don't know, man. But that was just that. But as far as Ben not using his weapons, bro, like, what do you have to say about that? As many weapons as he has, why isn't he not using them in the way that he used to use that many weapons, or a lot of weapons back in the day?
Well, as we know, like, you can have all the weapons in the world, but if you don't use them to the best of their abilities, there's no point. Because, like I say, I don't know if it's him. The thing is, he does need to do a better job at making decisions. Like I said, the thing is, of course, Big Ben, he looks like a statue in there now. So he can't really move around the pocket like he used to. And the thing is, I think part of it is that he's trying to preserve his body. Like, the thing is, he can't take too many hits. But behind that line, you can only do so much. And as I mentioned earlier, he's only got about 2, maybe 3 seconds to get that ball out of his hands. If not, then he's going down. I'd rather him throw a pick or get an incompletion than for him to be sacked and take all that extra damage. So, I mean,
at this point, bro, don't turn that ball over. We turn the ball over once, we lose by 50. We can't turn the ball over, period. So, like, my position is totally different. If this is Ben's this is Ben's last year. I'm speaking into existence. I don't want to see him after this year. That's my favorite NFL player ever. I don't want to see him no more after this year. This is Michael Jordan on the Wizards.
Yeah.
This is Michael Jordan on the Wizards. No one wanted to watch that old man who play, even though he averaged 20. You know, Ben is going to have some touchdowns here and there. It's not like he's the dude from the Texans. He's not him.
Yeah.
But for the name Big Ben Roethlisberger, we don't need to see that. We don't need to see that at all, man. And it's like for this to kind of be your last year, for this to be your last year, you need to go all out. All out. You need to get carried out the stadium, bro. This is the Pittsburgh Steelers. We told Troy Polamalu, no, you cannot play for no one else. You need to retire. We did that with a couple other players. How come we can't do it with this guy? How come we can't sit him down when he's playing poorly, where we can get a spark from? This is basic football. When your quarterback is like throwing stinkers all over the place, the backup comes in and makes at least 2 completions, the team is a whole new team. How come we're not doing that? And just say, okay, we'll start Ben next week. Ben ain't finished it. All right, we'll have somebody come in, spark. Oh, it worked. But if it doesn't work, all right, we'll just die with Ben. But it's like, come on, man. Like, we have to do something. We can't let this old dude, you know what I mean, get away with murder, man. Kidnapping. Like he's holding us hostage right now with the way he's playing, bro. Like, I know
people believe in Big Ben. Like I was a believer in Big Ben too. I mean, if you're a quarterback and you got an arm and you can throw at the NFL level, at least you got a chance. But thing is, like, everybody else around you is evolving. The team, all these other teams are starting to get wise to your game. And that's what kind of pissed me off the most about this game, is the fact that we forced 3 punt. We forced a turnover, 2 fourth and down, 2 fourth and outs, and a punt. And guess what? We did not capitalize off of either of these. We essentially forced them to turn the ball over, give us the ball back 4 times with them being ahead by 10 points. You have to do something with that. Mm-hmm. There was no excuse. I mean, if we get, if we give them the ball, or if we force the other team to give us the ball 4 times, you got to have we have to get at least 10 points out of that. There was no excuse why the game shouldn't have been at least tied in the 4th quarter. No excuse for that. If you get opportunities, like the thing is, like I said, our defense is exhausted out there. And the thing is, they're doing the best they can to get you in good field position, which they did. But guess what? It doesn't matter if you don't, boom, short 3 and out, boom, short 3 and out, boom, sack here, sack there. Well, he was only sacked twice, but you guys get what I mean. Like, you have to, the thing is, the defense can only do so much. They are putting you in better field position. They're giving you opportunities to work your magic. And we're not doing that. Right. So the thing is, that's the frustrating part to me. But next up, we can get to the elephant in the room, which is that, that field goal. What, anyway, that's how I feel about that one situation. But go on.
Oh man, that field goal. Well, go ahead. Just start it off. Man. Start it off.
This is what I really wanted to talk about. Because I watched it. The thing is, I've watched the game over and over. I probably had to watch the highlights of this game at least a dozen times by now. They slowed that one play down frame by frame, and it is inconclusive. The snap by Joe Hayden and Minkah Fitzpatrick was timed perfectly. They timed that snap perfectly to the millisecond. You could have timed it any more perfect. That was a Troy Polamalu type of timing snap. So, and the thing is, they wanted to call it offsides. You can't get any perfect timing in that. And the thing is, like I said, we've missed opportunities before, but that right there in itself was a game changer. I feel like in that regard, they screwed us over.
See, the reason why I'm not getting too crazy on that is because this officiating crew, they average 20 flags a game. So I don't know how many flags was thrown in this game, but something as small as that is going to get called with that crew. So, like, me knowing that information prior to the game, when I seen it, I was like, oh, man. But I had to accept it based off the crew that's out there. You know, you know, it's a theory out there. They want to call it a conspiracy theory that the NFL don't like the Steelers.
Mm.
They don't like the Steelers because the Steelers is family owned. You know, but it's whatever. But something is like, you got to think about what we see on camera. We can see the best angles, but we talking about people seeing something with the naked eye. The dude could have blinked before the snap, but the fact that they were all the way back there, like they was back there so fast, you know, it's like, yo, we normally call flags, we normally throw flags. Let me just throw the flag. If somebody correct me, they correct me. It was, to me, I feel like it was one of those things with that crew. So I'm not really a big penalty guy anyway, especially when your team is playing like, you know, they're playing like how the Texans should be playing. Yeah. You know, like how the Jets is playing before they won yesterday. Mm-hmm. Like, this is the Pittsburgh Steelers. Mike Tomlin, organization, Rooney's, tradition, standard. When you play like this, you're not gonna get no respect. Like all that, yo, penalties here and there. I'm not taking that this year because the team is not playing good. The team is not playing good. No crutches. I'm not giving the team no crutches this year. It's a development year, so I will give the kids the crutches. You feel me? Because they got to develop. But the old dudes on the team that, you know, we could have kind of went out and tried to do something to get a replacement for a person or two. Or when we decided to cut Dave DeCastro, when Pouncey walked away, that money we was giving this old dude, could have put it towards a couple guys in free agency that's still sitting out there. That's pretty solid. Yeah, we can have an average quarterback and just run the ball if we're developing. We don't need somebody with a big name who's playing below average. That's not helping the rebuilding process of this team. If anything, that's setting us back 3 years. If Ben plays better from here on out, I still feel the same, bro. I don't want to see him no more after this shit because I'm looking at Joe Burrow. I'm looking at Lamar Jackson. I'm looking at Baker Mayfield. 3 kids who's about to go getting in a prime. Joe Burrow gonna have an early prime. He gonna have an early prime. But 3 of them is in a prime. Like 2 of them is in a prime for sure. Joe Burrow's about there. And we gotta look at Ben every Sunday or the odd days that we play and be like, man, come on, 3-0. Come on, 3-0. Pick. And it's like when Ben was improvising on certain plays, bro, it's in slow motion. I don't want to see that. That's why I brought up the Michael Jordan. Like, this is Michael Jordan on the Wizards. See somebody that was so great look like that, and they trying, like like he's trying. Nah, we can do without that. Let's focus on the future, yo. Because this is only gonna set us back. We need to find out what Mason has. We need to find out what Dwayne has. We kind of have an idea what Mason has, but Mason he didn't have this team. He didn't have this offense. The last time Mason started a football team for us, he threw for 300 yards. It was pretty solid. He had a pick that was like, but it was solid overall. And that was against the Browns that's 3-1 right now. And, you know, they smacked us in the playoffs. Like, this ain't me, and I know this ain't you saying, yo, man, I'm done with the Steelers, blah, blah, blah. Just like John from the Steeler gang said yesterday, don't act like no hoe, you feel me? This because we took a loss. But I will say, we can't be hoes. We can't act like no hoes. And let Ben hold us out. We can't let that happen either, yo. Something needs to be said. Something needs to be done because we're going to be, in the win column is only going to be 1 if this continues. You know, and I don't know what quarterback is out right now, who's the top prospect coming out. But if he's somebody that's going to change us in a day, we need to do everything we can to load up that, put that bag together.
Yes.
It could be TJ, it could be Juju, it could be money, it could be picks. Call the Houston Texans and say, hey, y'all want this for Deshaun Watson? Because at this point, everyone's expendable. Everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody. Everybody. And then with that being said, that's all I gotta say about this game. That's what I got out. Oh yeah, excuse me. I would like to, like normally when I do the morning after, I want to give grades. So based off the offensive performance, what would you give the grade for the offense?
C-, D+.
Okay. Why you give it that grade?
Because we made some plays and some of it was, the thing is, we potentially could have had like at least 14 more points on the board. And we looked good early. But thing is, after the third quarter, we didn't score again. So yeah, C- or D+.
I'm a second that. I'm gonna go with C- just because of Najee. Honestly, Najee, the effort from Deontay for the touchdown, just the effort from the offensive line. This is probably the best game the offensive line played. It's not saying much, but it's saying something. It's the best they played all year. Ben only got sacked 2 times. Aaron Rodgers got sacked 3 times. But you could tell there was a difference. There was a difference in how one guy moved and the other guy moved. So I will go with the C- just because of Najee, offensive line, Deontay, like the effort from man, from everyone else. But Big Ben dropped the ball. I think if Big Ben played, I ain't calling him that no more. If Ben Roethlisberger would have played like Big Ben, bro, this probably would have been a B or A-. If he would have played solid. Imagine if he would have connected on at least 15 more throws out of that 40. You talking about another game. So, that's the reason why I even gave the offense any type of credit, because of Najee, offensive line, best game they played. Not that great, but, it was good enough. Najee was able to get 4, 5, 6 yards, sometimes 8. You know what I mean? It wasn't calling them back all the time. So, you got to give them credit for that. And the defense, the way the defense played yesterday, how can you grade those guys?
Our defense, for the most part, played lights out, but like I said, they were on the field for the majority of the time. Like I said, these guys, they play their asses off for us, and I don't care how good they are. They're human. They get tired. So I would probably give the defense B-. They forced a couple turnovers, they forced a couple of sacks, that one block field goal that got called back. Thing is, they did what they could. So I will give the offense a C-, the defense a B-, but overall, I'll give the Pittsburgh Steelers performance a C.
And be honest, man, I'm gonna really second everything you said, bro. Defense, I felt like for as amount of time they was on the field, and I just looked, the Packers had the ball for 9 more minutes. But 9 more minutes than us is still a lot for that defense. The defense was making plays in the second half where we was able to get the ball back. Remember, we went 4 and out twice, and they didn't put up, I believe they didn't put up points, and we was able to get the ball back. We just didn't make nothing happen. So you got to give them credit doing that later in the game. But, dude, Tyson Alualu going down, it's a big issue, bro. It's a big issue when it comes to the stopping the run. It's a big issue. And we need to sign Geno Atkins, man. That's what I'm saying. We need to sign Geno, man. We need to get somebody that can stop the run. I don't know if Geno can still, get to the quarterback, but we need somebody that's going to stop the run. Isaiah Buggs is struggling with that. When it comes to pass rushing, he's not bad. When it comes to stopping the run, what we really need him for, he struggles from time to time, man. But yeah, I'm a second your grades. And with that, it's the morning after, man. We can end this joint right now, Lil Dread. You feel me? Let them know where they can find you.
YouTube.com/TheDreadMan. Like I said, I do sports movie reviews and all that other stuff. Anyway, brother, thank you for having me on. I look forward to your podcast, and I'll see you guys next time.
You already know, man. Hey, man. Stills for 7 podcast. Got another episode dropping later, man. Y'all stay tuned, man. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to this page and subscribe to Lil Dred's page. Hopefully you're over here when I upload the video. But you feel me? We're gonna make sure that happens, man. Like I said, man, I appreciate you for joining me, man. You already know I'm gonna have him back on, y'all. So if y'all love it, let us know in the comments, man.
All right, peace out, guys.
Good morning after.